Hello students, welcome you all in the second part of lesson 11 cell structure and microorganisms. In the first part we have seen cell structure and its related details. Now we will look into microorganisms. So let us look into microorganisms. Organisms which cannot be seen with our naked eyes but can only be observed under microscope are called microorganisms. Microorganisms are present all around us in the air, water, soil, food, sewage, garbage, as well as in the bodies of plants and animals, including humans. Microorganisms live in colonies and some are solitary. Solitary, as in the microorganisms which do not live in colonies. Microbes generally measure less than 100 micrometers. It means generally microorganisms are of size less than 100 micrometers. Here are some of the microbes given with their sizes. Paramecium is one of the microbe which is observed to have its length about 100 micrometers. Bacteria of typhoid is of 1 to 3 micrometers. Poliovirus is observed to be of 28 nanometers. Now let us understand nature of microorganisms. Microorganisms are prokaryotic cells. It lacks membrane bound cell organelles. It has only plasma membrane, cytoplasm and nucleoid. Microorganisms having single cell are called unicellular microorganisms. For example, bacteria, viruses are unicellular microorganisms. Microorganisms having many cells are called multicellular microorganisms. Its examples are fungus, algae. This is the diagram indicating the prokaryotic cells. Here we can see different parts of that cell. Now let us understand growth of microorganisms. Each microorganism needs a specific environment for its growth and reproduction. Many microbes need oxygen for their growth, whereas some microbes can grow without oxygen. Microorganisms survive in 25 degree to 37 degree Celsius temperature range. Moist, humid, and warm atmosphere is favorable for their growth. Now, let us have a look over useful microorganisms. Some microorganisms carry out decomposition of waste and convert it into fertilizers. Hence, microorganisms can be useful microorganisms. Microorganisms in the soil and the root nodules of leguminous plants convert atmospheric nitrogen into compounds. Due to these compounds, soil fertility increases and protein content of the pulses also increases. Microbes are useful in the production of milk products like curd, butter, cheese, paneer, etc. Also, they are useful in the process of fermentation, production of alcohol from grains and fruits. Here in this diagram, we can see the root nodules of leguminous plants. Now, let us study more about antibiotics and vaccines. Antibiotics are produced with the help of specific microbes. Example diseases like tuberculosis, typhoid, cholera, which are previously considered as incurable and have now come under control because of these antibiotics. Domestic animals diseases and plant diseases can also be controlled with the help of such antibiotics. Vaccine is produced in a laboratory with the help of microbes, which gives immunity against the particular diseases. These days, we are watching such news regarding corona vaccine. So, this was about useful microorganisms. Now, let us have a look over harmful microorganisms. Some microbes release toxic materials into the food. Such toxins spoil the food. Eating such spoiled food can cause loose motion and vomiting. This process can be considered as a food poisoning. There are some disease producing microorganisms too. If contaminated food or water is consumed, we may fall ill with disease of alimentary canal like amoebiasis, typhoid, cholera, gastro, etc. Pneumonia and tuberculosis can be spread via infected air. So, such such microorganisms are harmful microorganisms. Thank you.